ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
Good morning and welcome. This is the Brand Momentum Morning Show. I'm your host, Faith James, and this is your daily dose of vitamin I. Actually, your Monday dose of vitamin I, and then some special days. So as you know, we do the show now on Mondays, and then throughout the rest of the month, we will be having special guest interviews all around inspiration, motivation, encouragement, and momentum. So we are continuing on our reading for this month of June. What you think of me is none of my business. And we're on the chapter about argue for your limitations and they are yours. So go ahead and share this video, tag a friend. This is a really important conversation around, I think, some things that we do and we may not even be aware that we're doing it. And it's us really fighting against ourselves. So we get to end that right now. So yeah, go ahead and share, get some of your friends, colleagues in, and let's discuss. So she starts off with a quote in this chapter. To fly as fast as thought to anywhere that is, he said, you must begin knowing that you have already arrived. The words of Chiang, an older gull, as quoted by Richard Bach in Jonathan Livingston Seagull. To fly as fast as thought to anywhere that is, he said, you must begin by knowing that you have already arrived. Right? So you're projecting into the future. You're setting your intentions for what it is that you're desirous of. The desire in your heart is what? What is the desire? Let's say good morning to a few in the Momentum crew. Good morning, Amber, beautiful. How are you? I love that picture. Good morning, Facebook user. I'm not sure who this is. Can you comment again with your name or give StreamYard permission to use your name so I can see you? Good morning, beautiful Dawn. How are you, my love? Yes, Facebook user, whoever this is, says so true. Yes, and it is true. You have to see it done. You just have to see it done. You have to see it accomplished. You have to see it already manifested. You can't move along wishing and hoping, but then worrying and fretting and in fear. And it's not going to come true. Good morning, beautiful Michelle, being awesome over on the YouTube channel. I love when people watch from the YouTube channel. I love that. Good morning, Facebook users. So everybody who's a Facebook user, click on the link above and let StreamYard use your name so you can show up and be part of our studio audience. Good morning, beautiful Marion. How are you? Yeah, so Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which is a great read. You've got to fly as if and think that you've already arrived. That quote from Jonathan Livingston Seagull inspires me and touches that part of me that knows I can be, do, and have what I want in my life. That part of me that knows no limitations. But there's another part of me, it exists in all of us, yes, all of us, that buys into the limitations that humankind has accepted. That's the part of me and you, the conditioned mind, that is the storehouse of my beliefs and interpretations of every experience I have ever had. I only feel trapped by my circumstances when I forget that I am the one who creates my environment, when I let the mental tape recordings of yesterday run my life. Good morning. Oh, yes, love it. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody go subscribe over on the YouTube channel if you haven't. Good morning, beautiful Jacqueline. How are you? We have the power over the physical world to create during each moment of our lives. Unhappily, we are taught the reverse, that what we have determines what we do, which in turn creates who we are. To illustrate what I mean, take the expression seeing is believing. That means you believe in something when you can see it. But there are others who can see beyond what already exists, who have the vision to see beyond appearances. Such people know that what exists now was once an idea. I look at the building where my office is. I know there was a time when it did not exist. First, the owner of the land had the idea to create a building. He called in an architect and explained what he wanted in terms of size, appearance, and function. The architect, consulting with the owner, drew up plans, a blueprint. A contractor took the plans and with his workmen built the building. Thus, the owner's idea, through the doing of owner, architect, contractor, and workman, produced the having of a building. There is only one rule for creation. It's the same one, whether applied to buildings, relationships, health, boats, cars, you name it. The rule is that my idea creates my behavior, which creates results. The confusion occurs when people begin looking for a different creative rule to apply to each of the various areas of their life. But there's only one rule. My idea, call it a notion, concept, or attitude if you wish, creates the manner in which I handle myself in all situations. And how I handle myself determines the results I achieve. What happens has nothing to do with physical forms, whether we are talking about buildings, bodies, or cars. The idea is the beginning. It creates the action or behavior. The action or behavior determines the results. That is a system you must use to create anything in your life. I'm going to say that again. The idea is the beginning. It creates the action or behavior. The action or behavior determines the results. So I'm going to give you an example. April 6th of this year, I did my first in the series of Being the CEO of You retreats. Maybe 2 or 3 days prior, I had the idea, right here she says, the idea is the beginning. So I had the idea to create a follow-on program from the retreat. That program I called the CEO Bootcamp and Mastermind Intensive. It did not exist before April of 2021. So that was the idea. The idea is the beginning, right? I didn't know what it was going to necessarily contain or how many people I wanted to have enrolled in. I just knew I had this idea that I get to create a boot camp and a mastermind for people who want to become the CEO of themselves and their businesses. So that was the idea, the beginning. It creates the action or the behavior. So once that idea was made known, what was my action and my behavior? My action was then to actually create the outline of the program. My action was to create the elements, right? The course pages, the sales pages, create the flow, the music that I was going to use every single day. Then enroll, right? Share, engage, and enroll people in the program. So that's the behavior that was created by the idea of creating this boot camp. The action or behavior determines the results. So your action or your behavior determines your results. It's not the idea and then the results, right? You have to have action and behavior within it. A lot of times we have ideas like, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but then we don't take the action. We don't step into the behavior. So committed action means, what are all the elements and the steps necessary to create a boot camp and mastermind? So all of that was done. What were the results, right? I enrolled 6 amazing, beautiful, ready to go CEOs who are having so much success in this program and are continuing on into our year-long program, the CEO Salon. That's the result. So between April to the first one launched in May 3rd, right? So between, let's say, April 3rd and May 3rd, 1 month, the idea, which came before, did the action, the results, people enrolled in the program, a new set of monies coming into my business just by first having the idea. So yeah, idea, intention, action, results. That's it. A lot of times people spend time thinking about, so what would the results be, right? The results would have been, I think I had said something like 5+ clients. That would have been the results. So that would have been 25K. So we were like, oh my gosh, I don't know who I'm going to find. I don't know if I can actually get $25,000 in a month. So we're starting from the back. We're focusing on the results and we're worrying. It's like, oh my gosh, I've never just generated that much money in a month and I don't have a thing and I'm gonna have to make, right? Get back to the idea. What is the idea? What do you want? And then outline, what are the steps required to bring that thing to fruition, and then your results will come. So, okay. And how I handle myself determines the results I achieve. So how you handle yourself, meaning, so if you wanted to have, let's say you wanted to do 3 days per week, you wanted to have, a masterclass or a person come into your program and train. And they said, oh, I can only do 1 day. How I handle myself determines the results. So how do you handle yourself? Do you go, oh my gosh, it's not going to work, I'm going to cancel it? Or do you say, you know what, great, I'm going to let 1 day a week work and then I'm going to fill in with something else? How you handle yourself, I like to tell you, discipline your disappointment. Oftentimes we get so stuck in, oh, this isn't working out. We're so trained to see the negative. And until you discipline your disappointment, the way you're handling yourself is going to be like a child having a tantrum, as opposed to a CEO who's making decisions saying, okay, right, here's what's in front of me. Here is the next right step, and just move forward. Okay, what happens has nothing to do with physical forms, whether we're talking about buildings, bodies, or cars. The idea is the beginning. It creates the action or behavior. The action or behavior determines the results. This is the system you must use to create anything in your life. So Momentum Crew, what are you looking to create? We're getting into second half of the year. What are you looking to create? Just where do you start? Well, you have to start with what you want. Sounds simple, but people have more trouble in determining what they want than you would think. For example, when troubled people come to me for counseling, I find that they want to tell me their life story. So you will understand where I am, they explain. My reply is, I'm not interested in your past or what was. What I want to know is, what do you want to do now? It's amazing how few of them actually stay on course and say, what I want is this. They'll generalize and meander all over the place. I explain to them that they have to state exactly what you want. Otherwise, there is no blueprint for a specific result. To return to the analogy of how my office building was created, you are, in effect, the owner, architect, contractor, and workman, CEO. You have to know exactly what the end result you want if you are to create the blueprint that will lead to the construction of that reality. A certain timidity prevents many of us from stating exactly what we want. At the time, it may seem unrealistic, and we fear that others will think we are foolish. In fact, your skills may be less than what you are. Sorry, let me read that again. In fact, your skills may be less than what are needed to achieve the goal you seek. Nevertheless, you have to say what you want, even if it appears unrealistic, unreasonable, unattainable. So, Momentum Crew, we're going to be unrealistic, unreasonable, and we're going to dive into what seems like it's unattainable. My question for you is, what do you want? What do you want? So Donna says, looking to create an epic life. I must get started on this beautiful office. Need a backdrop for going live and blogging. Exactly. What does the epic life look like, Donna? I'm going to invite you to be even more specific on that. One of the things that I do as part of my branding work with clients is I help them get to that vision. What we're talking about is a vision for your life. What is it that you want? And one way that you can do that is you get to see that in pictures. And this isn't just about having like a traditional vision board. This is a video, right? A video vision board, a digital moving element. It consists of pictures, but there are also moving elements that cause your attention. Energy flows where attention goes. So when you have a digital version of your vision, either on your phone, because it's video, you can see it on your phone, on your screen, you can make it a screensaver, whatever. When you're focusing on it, your energy will go there. So what do you want? What is the vision? What's your vision for your life? Let's start with that. What is your vision for your life? It could be, I want to be retired at 50. My vision is to create my nonprofit that does blah, blah, blah. My vision is to be so in total financial freedom that I'm able to take a family vacation every quarter. My vision is that I work 4 days for the week. Whatever it is, remember, we're going unreasonable. We're going, so far into what most might think is unreasonable. I want to receive an income of $100,000 per month. Perfect. And then with that $100,000 per month, Alicia, good morning. Welcome to the Momentum Crew. With that $100,000 per month, Alicia, what are you doing? How are you feeling? What does it look like? What does it look like when Alicia Meredith generates $100,000 per month plus in her life? What is she doing? How is she being? You get to get really, really, really specific on that. I'll give you an example. So most of you heard me say on the show before, I'm like so enthralled with the idea of a house manager and a pet manager. And I was just like, wait, what? If that's how people are out there living? I'm like, oh yeah, I want that too. Right. And I didn't know who or where or what, but I was just 100% in my intention that my fancy gets to have her own pet manager. Right. Not only just somebody to come sit with her in the house and we're gone, but to like take her about her business, take her to her vets, take her to her appointments, do whatever. Right. That happened because I was just in the intention of it. I said that sounds unreasonable and just crazy to some people. And that's none of their business. This is my life, right, Alicia? This is my epic life. My dog gets to have her pet manager. I get to have my own house manager. And I just held that intention. I didn't know who, I didn't know what. And when this past weekend, when my housekeeper was here, and she came with her mom, and we were talking, and I was like, you know what? I'm looking for a house manager, somebody to come do the laundry, cook meals for us, all this kind of. And she was like, great, I'll bring you a sample of my meals next time I come so I can do a tasting. Are you guys listening to me? So I can do a tasting of how she cooks, so then she can come cook food for me and my husband. That's unreasonable for some people, and it's none of their business, and it's my life, and it's my epic life. So Alicia, you see what I'm saying? Get specific. What is this 100,000 plus going to cause in your life? What are your ways of being? How will you be moving through this earth? What are you doing? Who are you connecting with? Get so specific. And I love that. Facebook user, please tell me who this is, because I'm going to help you with this one. One of the key things, distinctions of leadership, when you think about getting what you want, in order to get what you want, you get to give away what you want. So if you want unconditional love, go give unconditional love. That would look like you meet a stranger on the street and you do an act of kindness. You don't know them, but that's just your way of being. Something as simple as buying someone's coffee, or you see a homeless person sitting on a bench and you go buy them a sandwich. Little things like that. That's unconditional love. You're not putting any judgment on, well, if you live right, you wouldn't be homeless. And I know if I give you money, you're just going to take it and buy liquor. I'm just going to give you love. That's not for me to judge how you're living. I see you. I see your humanity. I'm going to give you a lunch today. I'm going to get you coffee today. I'm going to get you a drink today, whatever. If you want unconditional love, go give unconditional love. It's simple and it's profound. Whatever it is that you want, give it away. Give it away. When you get into radical generosity, abundance rushes into you like a flood. All right, awesome. Let's see who else. Jacqueline says her vision is to open an online living Your Heart Desires Academy so I can work on my boat at different destinations. Exactly. So that idea of this academy, which is virtual, right? So she can do it from anywhere because it's online, and get really specific, Jacqueline, about what does that look like? So is it that you are doing, group sessions on just one day, that you're working only 4 days for the month? Like literally build it out, see it done. Just like with the architect, it's like, okay, here we have, an acre. We want to do, a 6,000 square foot home, multi-use. Half of it's going to be office for your business. Half of it's going to be for the, and what is it? And are there skylights? And are there going to be, like a wraparound veranda? Build. The more specific and the more you can get in, because here's the reason that this is important. You want to start to have your body involved in it, meaning your emotions. Like you feel like when you start to visualize and you see your office with, a separate conference room attached to it. Like yesterday I said to my husband, like, God, I wish I had a bigger office. He's like, you've got like a freaking amazing office. What are you talking about? And I get to be, right? I get to be irrational. It's my epic life. And so that there would be a conference room where then I could have clients come in, or I could have VIP half-day sessions here. Whatever it is for you, build it out thoroughly. So Marion says, I want to transition into instructional design and work remotely so I can work from anywhere in the world and retire by 55, be it for build it all out, my love. So this is why when I say, if you want to get a video digital vision board, that wherever you go, you can see that you're walking somewhere, it's on your phone. Like you're constantly connected to your vision. You know, scripture tells us without vision, the people perish. If we're just sort of aimlessly walking around, not really sure what's going on, waiting to see what's going to happen, see what the day brings. No, we get up every day. When I get up in the morning, I'm like, thank you, Father God, for another day of life. I've never seen such a beautiful day. Thank you for this. And I know something amazing is going to happen to me today. And I want to thank you in advance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm in the future. I'm not worrying about what I didn't do or did do yesterday. I'm like, today I know something amazing is coming. And I'm always expecting amazing things to happen for me. Good morning, beautiful Jessica. Jessica says, I want to have a waterfront home and a yacht to go back and forth to the Bahamas wherever and whenever I want. Yes. Jessica, let me ask you, do you have that picture of the map of the Bahamas? Do you have a picture of a yacht? Do you have a picture of a house on a waterfront somewhere that you can see? Is that somewhere you walk in? Like if you came into my office right now, when you look to the left, I have a fully manifested wall. It's not even just like a cube or anything like that. I literally have my ceilings here probably, I don't know, 12 feet. So my intention is from the top all the way down to the floor, everything. I get to be irrational, right? What does she say? We get to be unrealistic, unreasonable, and irrational because it's your epic life. If you don't have that, that gets to be up for you to see, for anybody who comes into your space to see, because you're unapologetic about your vision. You know, when we're hiding the things that we want, we don't want to say it. We're not being obedient to ourselves because we are the creators of our life. And we say, this is the vision. This is the thing that I'm going to be creating. And then we hide it, or we're afraid to if you're afraid to tell, the 5 closest people in your sphere that you want a waterfront home, that's easily going to be $2.5 million to start, a yacht that's going to have to be a big boat to go across, high seas to the Bahamas, and you want to go whenever and wherever. That means you're not time bound. You're not working for anybody. You're the CEO of you. And if you can't tell that to the 5 closest people in your sphere, you get to check your crew and up level your squad, because you get to hang out with yes and people. You get to hang out with people who feed into this vision. To say, oh my God, Jessica, I was just down at the Miami Boat Show and I saw the perfect yacht for you. Here it is. You need those kind of irrational friends. Oh, let's go on open house. It's, $1 million row down in, Celebrity Island. Let's go. You need those kinds of unreasonable friends. Love it. Yes, it's awesome. Awesome. Okay, Michelle says, I get to travel with my family to natural wonders, oceans, waterfalls, mountains, secret gardens. We document our lives and build our businesses with ease as we explore. My love, I feel even that, you feel the emotion in it. You want to it's not just some words on the paper and go, yep, that's it. That's what you get to look at it and you get butterflies in your stomach just from looking at it, just from like reading those words. You want to do that. Michelle, do you have this secret garden? Do you have the mountains, the waterfalls, the oceans, the natural wonders on a wall or on, some kind of a board if you don't have space for a wall? I invite you to find a wall so you're making it so plain, so clear. You're being so loud and proud about this way of being, right? And that the family is also on board and they're into this way of being. And you're doing it, and then the idea, and then you get into the action. Michelle, what actions would you need to take? What behavior would you need to start exhibiting to bring these results to fore? Love it. Okay. Let's see. Marion says, I have a vision board, but not digital. I'll have one by the end of the week. Perfect. Yes. And Jacqueline says she's got a vision wall too. Yeah. Because when I go for the wall, what it says is it's big, it's seeable. I'm not hiding from it. And I get to keep adding to it, right? Because it's like a living, breathing thing. You get to keep adding to it as you get into more clarity about what it is that you're looking for. Okay. So let's see. Why is it necessary to say exactly what you want? It is necessary because if you allow the conditions of your life now to determine what you're going to create in the future, then you are constantly trapped by the limitations of the past. All right. So I didn't let the fact that, I hadn't prior to this created, a boot camp and a mastermind in under 30 days. I didn't let that stop me. I just knew I was in the intent that was a desire, that this gets to happen, right? That when I did the retreat on April 6th, that I would be able to say, and so if you want to continue this, right, that I had a program that was done and ready. I had trainers that I had conversations with. I had a board of director assembled to be part of the program. I had done all the work, the behavior and the action, and the result was the result, right? 6 people enrolled. In under 30 days, all of that was created, causing 25,000 plus to come in. Think about that. So that's why you get to be really, really specific, because you can't let the past continue to just wrap you and strangle you into submission. That's what we do, right? We keep looking back. Your front window in your car is larger than your rear window for a reason. Keep your eyes straight ahead. There's nothing back there to see. A glance or two, yeah, turn into the left lane and you keep it moving. All right. So what's going on in your life right now is the end result of ideas you accepted before now. Whoa. In other words, whatever is going on now, you set it up previously. To create what you want in the future, you've got to transcend the trap of those prior decisions and beliefs. Beliefs like, I'm not going to be able to retire at 55. That's really hard. You need at least $5 million to do that. Or I'm not going to be able to have this laptop lifestyle that I'm so desirous of because I'm not really tech savvy and I'm not really, one to do like all of the management stuff that comes with running a business. Those beliefs, whether you are aware of them or they're hidden in your subconscious, but they're there, are what's causing you to be where you are today. If a year back, you look back at a year and you're still in the same place as you were a year ago, that tells you you've come into agreement with these limiting beliefs. Whether you say them or not, we'll say, oh no, I love myself and I am this and I'm that. But the subconscious programming that's running your life, like your subconscious programming is 95% of your action. Your paradigm, the things you believe that you may not say to us, but God and you know the truth, that you don't think you're good enough, that you don't think you have what it takes, that you think you're an imposter, that you don't think you could build your swimsuit line because, well, shit, who are you? You're not Victoria's Secret, right? You're not any of these like big major brands. You secretly believe that. Otherwise, you would be right further along on your dreams. So we get to really check in. What am I really believing? And look at your actions, because the actions will demonstrate and will show you what you're believing. Right? When I say sometimes to some of my clients, go do a Facebook Live and they're like itching and scratching, and there's a belief deep down inside that says, I'm not good enough. I have nothing to say. I'm an imposter. Why would anybody listen to me? That's why they don't want to get on camera. Being worried about judgment, what people say, our emblazoned hashtag for this show and life is hashtag be unbothered. The minute you care more about what people say about you, your way of being, when you care about their judgment of the work that you're doing. I had one client who said to me, somebody said something about her brand that we're working on that was too long. And so she started to get like, oh my gosh, is it too long? Should I change? I said, what's your vision? What do you want it to be? I said, my shows are an hour plus, right? You guys know this. You're here with me. This show is an hour plus. So who's to say, oh, a 20-minute show is too long? Absolutely not. It's what is your intention? And so because I am the CEO of me, I say how, what, when, where, why, and who. I don't let anybody come in and with the Good Time Tina who wants to tell you what you should be doing with your business and your brand. But meanwhile, Good Time Tina doesn't have her own show. Good Time Tina doesn't have to come up with content for interviewing guests. And you're giving over your power. Think about this, guys. You're giving over your power to Good Time Tina, who's not producing a weekly show. So with all the love and respect, we tell Good Time Tina to have a seat. And we continue on the mission of what it is that we're doing. The vision is you. Here's the thing. Sometimes people can't see the way you see the things, right? They can't see things the way you see it because they're not sitting where you're sitting. God gave you the vision. He didn't put the vision in them. So anybody that you're consulting, you should be going to God for consultation. Ask him. Don't ask Good Time Tina. Absolutely. We are unapologetic. And we can be unapologetic because when we take the doctor's oath, the creed, do no harm. So when you go on your life, are you doing any harm? When you go on and talk about your vision and you share your vision, and that's actually going to be your homework, is you're going to declare, once you've sort of crystallized it, and jump in the Savvy Branders tribe if you aren't in, jump in. And if you need some help kind of tweaking that before you do, I'm going to be doing that. But you get to go declare your vision. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm setting for. This is what I'm doing and why. If you guys didn't see the interview I did with David Meltzer, go back and look through. It's all over. It's on the YouTube. It's on my Twitter. It's my personal page. Go watch that interview with David Meltzer, where he talks about his idea, his philosophy on making a lot of money. Because there's a lot of confusion around when people show up and they say, yeah, right, like Alicia, I'm making 100,000 plus a month. Some people will look at that and go, well, damn, why are you so greedy, Alicia? You can't satisfy with 20K. That's not enough for you. Some people don't even make $200,000 a year, let alone you're talking about you want to make 100,000 plus a month. His philosophy on help a lot of people by making a lot of money, having a lot of fun while doing it, right? It's not a bad thing. And I said, I'm going to, present everybody to a man named Solomon. Do you remember Solomon, God's favorite son of David? Had so much gold, so much wealth. In the Bible, it says it could not be measured. And when I say it can't be measured, it's a lot. It's a lot. So what are you causing with your vision? Right? Simon Sinek says, nobody cares what you do until they know how you do it. Why do you want to have a lot of money? What are you going to do? How are you going to be impacting the world? One of the things I focus on with my business, with my brand is, why this being the CEO of You series is so important to me, because there's a statistic that says 70% of US workers hate their job. Hate with a word. Now you think about that. 70% of the people go into a job they hate every single day. Hate it, hate it, hate it. What do you think their energy is like? Low frequency, bad. You touch them a little bit, it's going to be a fisticuffs. People are on edge. They hate it. And so I stand as source to create opportunities for people to learn how to become the CEO of You, because I did it, right? I was in corporate for 25 plus years and made the escape. I call myself the Harriet Tubman of the corporate world. You want to escape? Come see about me. But you get to go and have a life that's epic, have a life that's fulfilling, have a life that's wonderful. And you only get there by visioning it. You first must Vision it. You can't just like, I hope one day things will work out for me. Nope. Oh, I hope everything goes okay in the sweet by and by. Nope. You get to sit down, you get to get your journal, you get to get into your mind, and you get to create, right? Everything, Bob Proctor says, is everything was created twice, once in the mind and then in the physical form. Because for this computer that I'm broadcasting from right now, somebody had to have the vision and say, you know, it'd be great to have a laptop, not just a desktop. They can take it around. Wouldn't it be great if you could like connect with your friends, you know, from a coffee shop on your computer, right? That visioning had to happen. And then they take the idea, right, to engineers, computer science engineers, and say, this is what we want to create. This is a vision. How do we get there? So it's the same thing with you. Same thing with you. Oh my God. Jacqueline says, someone said to me, your grammar is incorrect. I don't care. I'm going to make mistakes. I am human. I am being unapologetically me. Well, and here's, and yes, listen, is there an opportunity for you to improve your grammar? Absolutely. And it doesn't stop you from being you. So here's a thing you can say. Would you rather say, I am broke or I is a millionaire? People get to choose, right? We get hung up on so many things that are insignificant. And yeah, you get to choose. You can have awesome grammar and be broke, or you could have not so great grammar and be a millionaire, causing beautiful things to happen in the world, you know, really, really stepping into your philanthropy life. So yeah, you know, they get to choose, you know, they can sort that out. All right. So we're not going to be limited by the past. Let me check the time. Okay. So you are continually caught in the conditioning, the attitudes, and the beliefs that you agreed upon consciously or unconsciously in the past. What's going on in your life right now is the end result of the ideas you accepted before. In other words, whatever is going on now, you set it up previously. To create what you really want in the future, you've got to transcend the trap of those prior decisions and beliefs. I find there are three circumstances that usually stand in the way of creating what you say you want. The first of these, and possibly the most important, is that you haven't taken your idea far enough. Boom. There it is right there. So when I said to Alicia, okay, 100K plus, what? Give me the details. What are we doing? Where are we living? Right? What type of work are we doing? What type of impact are we making on the world? Be so specific, take it far, take it super, super, super far. You know, I'm gonna have a scholarship for underserved girls to be able to go to a 4-year university of their choice, right? I'm going to have my nonprofit that helps them with essay writing. So reading and comprehension is something that they get to do, and I get to cause that with my 100K plus per month. I get to luxuriate. I get to travel private. Yes, please understand there's a private wheels up picture on my manifested wall. I get to fly private to every and any destination. I luxuriate at 5-star beach resorts while writing my next book. You get to be unreasonable. You get to be irrational. You get to be unapologetic. All right. Okay, so where did I get to here? I think I skipped ahead. Okay, so the three circumstances. First, you haven't taken the idea far enough. You stopped short. As an illustration, let's take an experience of mine. 4 years ago, I had wanted to do a television program. I knew I had the ability, even though at the time it was not evident. Though the program seemed far from where I was at the time, I knew in my heart it was what I wanted to do. So my affirmation was, I have my own television show. Not I want to have a television show, but I have my own television show. There's an important difference that I will explain later. Well, from my affirmation, people came along and helped me to do a television show. It's called The Terry Cole Show. and a Los Angeles company actually paid for it. I did one show on tape and it was simply awful and terrible. I was embarrassed, humiliated. Naturally, the station didn't put it on air, so I bought the tape and kept it. 3 years passed and I was still saying I wanted my own television show. I couldn't figure out why things weren't working. There was only one rule. I reminded myself, ideas are created into form. So if I don't have the results I want, it must be that I don't have the right idea. I got out my old papers where I had written my affirmations. It was important to see exactly what I had written. The words themselves are important because they set up the context in which you create. As I reread those old affirmations, I discovered they said it was my goal. I said it was my goal to have my own television show. Suddenly the light flashed on. I did have it. Out in the garage in a can, I had my own tape. What I really wanted was to do my own successful weekly television show that transformed people's lives, a show that was successful in all areas, financially abundant, and worldwide. That affirmation set up a whole new context. Within 2 weeks, I was into production of my weekly successful television program, The Terry Cole Whitaker Show. There are still things that need to be handled from time to time. And in doing the show, I can see where my barriers are and where they aren't. In creating the life you want, you argue in favor of your abilities and your power to do what's working. If it isn't working, let go of it. Don't do it. You must constantly check the physical realities because the results you get do not lie. The results will tell you what idea you have about the particular situation. So the first principle again is you must take the idea far enough. If you say, I want to clean out the garage, you probably won't get any further than started. What you want to do is affirm, I have completed cleaning my garage and it is neat and orderly. Instead of saying, I want to meet my right mate, you affirm, I am with my right mate and we enjoy and love one another. Whatever you want, take it far enough. And if you want to know how far your ideas take you, simply look at what you have. That will tell you if you are satisfied, great. If not, sit down and determine what you really want. So again, this isn't for us to judge. There's nobody going to come and just, this is not epic enough. This life, you have it. If you can honestly look into your soul and say, yep, this is exactly where I am. This is what I've envisioned. It's great and wonderful. And you're at peace. Fantastic. You're making an impact because again, your life isn't just about you, right? It's like we get to be in transformation for the world. So we get to help other people, radical generosity. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm all set, but so-and-so over there is having it real rough. And you don't, get into a place of help. That doesn't bode well. But if you look at where you are and you go, it's so much more. I just know there's so much more in me. I just know I have the potential for so much more, and you're not satisfied and there's a restlessness that's within you, then you get to do something about it. You get to get your journal and you get to write and you get to think, what is it that I really want? Very important that you get there. Okay. All right. Sit down and determine what you really want. A second circumstance that often stands in the way of creating what you want is the interference of someone else's idea. The goal you wish to create can't be your mother's idea, your father's, your husband's, your wife, your kids, or anyone else's. They have to be your idea. Unfortunately, in choosing the goals to create, we often don't really know what we want in our hearts, so we accept as our own the goals of others, not only the goals of others who are close to us, but the goals suggested by TV commercials and magazine ads. As a consequence, it's important to examine what you say you want. You may discover that you don't even want it, but are committed to it because someone else has recommended it as a goal for you. So think about that. Are you working towards your own goal, or are you working towards your mother's goal? Your mother said, oh, like my mom, she was like, oh, you definitely be a nurse, Faith. There's guaranteed employment. And when I started my study at Hunter College, I was about to declare my major as nursing. But I wasn't standing in my truth, and God, being the good father that he is, always is my GPS, navigating me back to where I get to be. And then I declared my major as communications, right? Television, broadcast, production. Be sure you're working on your own goal, not a goal that somebody else suggested, because you don't want to rock the boat. Because you know which boat you're rocking, your own internal boat, and we only have one life. Okay. The third circumstance that may block your achievement of what you want involves limitations. Now, there are some real limitations. Jumping out of a plane without a parachute and affirming, I'll land safely, is most likely to prove that gravitational attraction is a very real limitation. But most limitations are not real, or if they are, there may be ways around them. You may love the idea of staying underwater for a long time, but there is a real limitation that your body requires a continuous supply of oxygen, which your lungs cannot extract from water. You get around this limitation by carrying your oxygen supply with you. Gravity is definitely a limitation, determining on how high you jump. Yet by understanding gravity, men were able to build machines that could break away from this planet and land on the moon. So even most of the so-called real limitations are not necessarily obstacles once they're understood. You should keep in mind when you observe what seems to be real challenges to your achievement of what you want. But most of the obstacles are unreal, simply limitations you've allowed your mind to accept. Remember, the Bible warns about judging on the basis of appearance. Remember also that appearances are essentially creations of yesterday. If you are to create what you want, you disregard appearances and start from scratch. For when we create in the highest sense, we do so from the spirit, which has nothing to do with what already is. We create from nothing in the physical sense. Yet most people dissipate their creative energies trying to avoid, resist, change, or destroy what already exists, what they already have. In trying to design a new house or a new life, they try to alter or model what they already have. Appearances and limitations makes us think we are locked into what we already have. That way we get stuck. So, right, I could have said, you know, I've been in advertising and marketing 25 years. I've built a career in that for so long. People know me, you know, as a, you know, a classically trained account person. I should just stay. That's a long time. Can't just switch over now. And what did I do? I followed my heart. I followed the desires of my heart. When I knew what brought me joy, and here's how I knew, and maybe this will serve you. Let me see what time it is. Okay. When I was not making the same money I was making from corporate, but I was still happy, that's when I knew. Can somebody hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? When I had to be on the austerity plan and cut back because I was making the jump, you know, the time had come for me to leave corporate. And as you all know, the safe money, right? The guaranteed money was going away. And so now I'm being a freelancer, a consultant. If I don't kill it, I don't eat. And so I'm consciously now making that exit plan, execute. The realities were I wasn't causing, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars to come into my bank account every day, every week, as I was prior. And I was happy. That's when I knew. So your feeling states, how you show up, you wake up, are you excited? When I get up every day, I am excited. You know, I have my CEO boot camp 8 o'clock every morning with the clients, and I can't wait to get it. We have so much fun. We get so much done. We have so much fun. We play music every single day, every single morning. There's a new jam that we're jamming out to, and we start our day that way. I'm excited for that. Like, cause this is the life I get to live. And because I know, right? Here's the thing, guys, your money is out there. The money is not lost. The money is, listen, you know, that used to be that saying, I forget what show, there's gold in them there hills. There's gold and diamonds and rubies and emeralds. I mean, in the earth, like we live in abundance. We're so rich. There's diamonds in the Bloody Mountains, right? That's God's way of telling you, this is not a problem for me. Wealth creation, not a problem for me. Streets of heaven paved with rubies and diamonds and sapphires. Easy. What you get to do is get into your purpose. What you get to do is find out why I created you on this earth in the first place. And please hear me loud and clear, Momentum Crew. You are not created to work, pay bills, and die. That is not the master plan. The master plan is for you to use your gifts and talents that God has anointed you with, each of us having different gifts and talents, but being able to use those gifts and talents for his pleasure, to do good in the world, to cause good for his children. We are the hands and feet of God. That is the first thing you get to know. Hands and feet of God. Scripture tells us, when you do it unto the least of these, you do it unto me. That's Jesus saying, when you do it unto the least of these, you do it unto me. That gets to be a part of our way of being. And if you need to have the epic 100K plus a month, Miss Alicia, to get that done, then that's what it is, right? You get busy activating the ideas of, what does that look like? What does that look like? My life as a hand and feet of God on this earth, my life as being purpose driven, creating amazing, magnificent things here on earth. My life not numbered in the 70% of people going to a job that you hate. That ain't it. And so when I realized, it was literally like a key unlocked for me. I was like, oh, okay, so this is it. This is it. My gifts that I have from the Lord, the gift of encouragement, the gift of discernment, I get to use these gifts in a way that causes a ripple effect in the world. And it's not just about me going and sitting, behind a desk for a company. I'm building their vision and I'm not doing my vision. And listen, nothing against having a job, if it's a job, but I'm just saying, it gets to be something that you love. It gets to be something that you feel like you're using your time and your gifts for in a meaningful way. So I am going to wrap us there. Yes. So here is, yes, abundance is everywhere. It's just there for the asking. Jesus says, here I knock. Here I stand knocking, waiting for someone to open this door. And when they open the door, I will dine with him and he will dine with me. Can you imagine the dinner party you're dining with Jesus? So, what's your vision for your life? What is your vision for your life? You are so welcome, my love. Yeah, jump on over into the Savvy Branders Tribe if you haven't done so, everyone. So that's where we deliver homework. And your assignment is to either come on live or write a vision statement, but you get to share that publicly now, because remember, we're unbothered, we're unapologetic, we're irrational, and we're unreasonable with our vision. So don't make it small. We serve a God of multiplication. Double for your trouble. So you get to ask big. You get to vision big. You get to see big things. I'm going to wrap and leave us with this. How many know who Les Brown is? Yes, absolutely. And so it is. It is done. Okay, my love. Beautiful. Thank you. Les Brown was told by his teacher, forget which grade, that basically he was not learned. He can't learn. Like, forget it. It's done for you. It's a wrap. Right? Living in very poor conditions, just told it's not going to happen for you. And now Les Brown gets paid $400,000 to speak. He shared the story of there were times that he was being hired to speak where he would be going into these big corporations. These are people with like a lot of letters behind their names, PhD, MBA, master's, all of it, name it. And he's going in to speak, to encourage, to motivate, to enlighten. And his fear would be, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Like, they're more educated than me, because that was his weakness, right? That was his weakness, because when he was a young boy, the teacher told him that. And let me tell you about 0 to 8, which is really important, which is some of the work that we do in leadership. You go back into when you're 0 to 8, whatever your world was and whatever belief systems that you had seen, because when you're 0 to 8, you can't reject any ideas. Your subconscious is just a funnel, just like taking it in, take it in. Oh, you're no good. You'll never amount to anything. Oh, look at you. No man will ever want you. Oh my gosh, you're the, whatever you were told 0 to 8 is still running your show right now. If you haven't done work, if you haven't done this leadership work to sort it out, still running you. I think it was Les Brown that I got this quote from. You might be done with your past, but your past is not done with you. So until you stop and do the work, right? David Meltzer talked about stop, drop, and roll. Until you stop and do the work, you're just in this loop. You're in this pattern. And if you look at your life from year to year to year, and you're not even making incremental changes, let alone forget about quantum leap changes, then you get to do something about this today. So I'm going to put in the, I just dropped in the comments, you get to find out about the CEO Bootcamp Mastermind Intensive. It is what you need to get you into momentum. It's what you need to like bust you out of this trap that you're in. And if you want to go another year in the same loop, then it's totally your choice. But I'm just letting you know, I am here. Help is here to get you into active momentum. I can't even tell you the transformation that clients, and they've only been in maybe 7 weeks, the transformation, like businesses that were like just done and dusted are now thriving, and people are like getting into momentum with them and like causing activity and creating content that wasn't there before. Right? Remember, I told you I created a program in under 30 days that's brought in 25,000K plus into my business. If I can do that for myself, I can show you how to do that. So yeah, go ahead and click on the link. We're only taking 10 clients per cycle. This is CEO 2. And so we only have 9 spots left. And so what you do is you pay the $250. It's a fully refundable $250. You and I get on the phone. We talk about the program. There are some requirements for participation because it is a mastermind portion of it. And with a mastermind, everybody gets to participate. It's not just you come and take and run. So, but the $250 is fully refundable. That at least locks your spot in from an intention standpoint. And if we get on the phone and you're like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be for me right now, your $250 gets returned. I'm not interested in keeping anybody's $250. I want to do that so you don't have an excuse as to why you can't take action. Because a lot of times we use this excuse, oh, I don't have the money, But I'm telling you right now, if somebody had a family member held hostage, your child, your loved one, and said, we need $5,000 right now, do you think you would be able to go find $5,000? Yes, you would. But we don't believe we are worth it. This is the conversation. I will do it for my loved one. I'll do it for some, good friend. But for me to invest $5,000 for myself, I am not worth that. Hear that. Say it out loud to yourself and feel how shocking to your system that is. Year after year, the same thing. You get to choose. So yeah. So Les Brown, amazing speaker, living in purpose and potential, because he decided he was not going to take that rap on his life and decided to do something about it, to take action, to get into mentorship, to get into coaching, get into all of it. So Go do your assignment. Assignment is delivered in the Savvy Branders Tribe. If you're not a member, go find it. Go ask for access. And it's you're declaring your vision. What is your vision for your life? What do you want to see? What do you want to cause? Love you guys so much. Let me know if you have any questions in the Savvy Branders Tribe. I'll help you out if you need some support before you go declare it. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.